Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm always burping. If y'all meant to get up in here. I know it's an odd time of the day, but it's all good. I would have some music playing for y'all while we wait, but I ain't trying to get copyright struck. JM, James Milledge, J with open eyes. Did I see the shit with the green Converse? I remember something about the green Converse. Fuck, what did he say about the green Converse? I remember that. No, we going to get into it, though, man. See, he thinks he did something with this live stream. But my thing is, he has no idea what he wants. That's my thing. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Because there's a lot of shit that he says that is essentially just projection, right? I'll get into where he's projecting. He's projecting his own insecurities and his own, shortcomings onto a whole group of people. And he's trying to keep this to one group of people. And we'll get into that too. He gets into, Brian from High Impact Flicks goes onto his into his chat room and asks him questions. It's just really odd, right? But I understand where this anger is coming from. I understand because he goes off in this live stream. He goes off. Hold on, y'all. Am I here? So, yeah, he goes off. Y'all see. I'm going to just start playing it right now, man. He did nothing with this video. He did nothing with his live stream but appease his audience who are full of ignorant people. I actually engaged with a few people in his live stream chat. I had to actually go into my my backup channel to go and be able to make comments in his chat room because my main channel was blocked. He blocked it, and he blocked my phone number, so I can't come in. I can't call in when he does the call-in shows, and that's okay. That's okay. So we're going to get into this. I'm going to start the video now. Now, this isn't the beginning. This is basically where this picks up where I actually came into the live stream to see what the hell he's talking about.
You? Because my issue isn't with people having guns.
Okay.
I really don't care. As people say, hey, law-abiding people aren't the ones doing that. Yeah, but by that same logic, nigga, we shouldn't have laws at all, if that's the case.
What is he talking about? I agree. We shouldn't have man-made laws, I'll say. We shouldn't have man-made laws created by men and enforced by men to enforce their will on the other men. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is no man is at a level above me to where he can issue me edicts and issue me directives. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm a free man, he is a free man. If he wants to live by a certain rule and live a certain way, that's on him. Hold on.
The case.
Yo, so, um, that's where the problems come in, right? Because if we start writing down rules, right? If a central group of people get together and create laws and rules and edicts that people across the entire nation have to follow, that's where we have a problem, right? Even down to the local level. Because some of these laws stop you from being able to do things or penalize you for doing things that does nothing to other people when you don't even create a victim. So a lot of these so-called laws are actually forms of punishment or something that you can be punished for if you don't go by that. You understand what I'm saying? So like say, if you're doing something, if you buy a bag of weed, right? Or if you buy a bag of Coke, you're buying a bag of Coke for yourself to smoke or for yourself to sniff so you can get high on it. You're not doing anything to anybody else. You're in your own house, minding your own business. You're in your own room and you're sniffing Coke and you're enjoying yourself. And maybe you write a book. Maybe you fucking write a sheet of music, right? Or you smoke some weed or you do some mushrooms in the comfort of your own home. There are laws or so-called laws that say that you can't do that. That is a problem. If you don't think that's a problem, then there's something wrong with you. So, yeah, no man should make any man-made laws that other men have to follow because who are you to say what I can and can't do in my daily life? That's the point. And that includes gun ownership, right? Because he's going to get into training and, well regulated means this, that, and the third, and at the end of the day, you're lending yourself to regulation. All this bullshit, right? All this bullshit to dress up and justify tyranny and oppression. I don't give a fuck what he says about that. We're going to get into that. You know what I'm saying? But that's the key, right? The key is that these people are creating laws that impede on people's pursuit of happiness. Someone might be happy smoking weed, sniffing Coke, and doing mushrooms. That might be how someone pursues their own happiness. But when you create laws that prohibit that, then that's you're getting in the way of someone's pursuit of happiness. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the problem. That's just an example of why laws, man-made laws, shouldn't exist. Right? I am an anarchist. I'm a voluntarist. And this is why. Because there are certain things that you don't need to write down laws for. That you don't need to create so-called laws for. Like murder, theft, robbery, burglary, privacy violation. You know what I'm saying? Extortion. Assault. Murder. All these things. These are things that are understood to be bad. Right? And everything that you try to do to create laws to branch out from that, like creating assault weapons bans because, let's create an assault weapons ban because some asshole killed a bunch of people with an assault weapon. That's where it becomes a problem. And he agrees with assault weapon bans. He agrees that we should have all these type of background checks and all this training and all this stuff. When all these things, they're infringements. He probably believes in red flag laws, and when they're creating red flag laws in 25 states or something like that. I don't know how many states. So many states have red flag laws, and he calls you a fearmonger for believing that the government wants to come after your guns when they're creating red flag laws to give them an avenue to come after your guns.
Because that's not an argument. When people say, hey, well, it's not a law-abiding citizen who did that. No shit, Sherlock. No shit, Sherlock. It's not a law-abiding citizen who breaks a fucking speeding limit, right? It's not a law-abiding citizen who breaks any law. But
what's he talking about? See, now we got to understand what's a law-abiding citizen. What's a law-abiding citizen? What is that? Someone who obeys every single law. If you break one law and don't get caught, are you still a law-abiding citizen? You see, he's confusing law-abiding citizen with good person or a righteous individual or a moral individual. Because a moral person can break a speeding law. Yes. A moral and righteous individual can roll through a stop sign as opposed to stop at a stop sign. A law-abiding citizen or good person can do whatever. Like all these traffic infractions that people that call themselves, that consider themselves law-abiders and good people, they break traffic laws all the time. They might be on their cell phone while they're driving. They do it. But they're good people. They don't want to hurt anybody. They're not evil, but they do commit these things. So what is he talking about? He has no understanding. Like he's in some sort of LA bubble. Let me tell y'all something about the clown shoe Lucas. He is in an LA bubble. He grew up in Santa Monica or West LA or something like that. Not to say that there aren't hard parts of South LA or West LA or whatever, but you can tell that he ain't street and that he ain't really been around people who street. And his level of understanding about the world is concentrated to this LA lifestyle, this LA liberal, you know what I'm saying, all this type of shit, bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know too much about the guy. I'm not gonna characterize him too much, but based on this type of shit he says, which you'll find in his video, he has a very limited and narrow understanding about how people in the world behave and different characteristics and different behaviors and how different people live different lives and all that type of shit. We'll see.
Surprise. We don't live in a perfect...
Hold on. Let me see what y'all talking about. Jade Millage, let's see. Oh, quite a few comments. 3J says, been a minute, Bane. Just heard about this and bam, live stream. I recommend it. That's what's up. Okay, so Marcy says, she's shouting out people. Shay Pierre says he's just confusing. Agreed. Jane Miller says here there are laws where you have to have a business license to start your own company. So many laws on the books that turf folks. Exactly. Many of these laws are arbitrary. They're meant. I'm gonna tell you what a law is for. Man laws are not laws. Exactly. Man-made laws are not laws. Let me tell you what a law is for. A law, man-made laws, all right, edicts, directives, instructions, right? What mommy and daddy tell you can't do. They are not created to prevent crimes, right? They are designed to punish you when you violate that law or edict so that they can extract something from you, extract a form of wealth, whether it be time, money, time in jail, which they, and they put you in a private prison where you are now working as a free laborer for the state or for the federal government, or a fine, right? These are what laws are designed for. Laws are designed to extort you in some form of fashion, extort your time or extort your money. That's what it is. Even murder laws, right? Laws against murder. They are meant to punish you for that crime. They're not there to prevent crime. Although people who are really good that might have some thoughts of maybe doing something evil won't do it because they want to be punished. People who really want to commit crimes don't give a fuck about a law. You understand what I'm saying? This is well understood. That's why if you murder somebody in certain states, they'll allow you to live for 25 years to life in prison, which costs, I believe, $300,000 a year. So much money, right, to house a murderer for life. They keep these people alive, feed them 3 times a day, and this is costing taxpayer money, and they can use them for some form of labor. You understand what I'm saying? So if it was about preventing crime, right, because some people are crazy enough to be like, you know what, if I murder somebody, I'll go to jail. I don't give a fuck. I'll spend my life in prison, 3 hots in a cot, do some push-ups, whatever. But if they understood, look, if you commit this murder, and we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you killed this individual in cold blood without provocation, we're going to kill you, summary execution, as soon as you're found guilty. Summary execution. Ain't gonna be no 25 years, 3 months, 3 days. Even when they put people on death row, it might be years before they actually get put to death. And during that time, they are still extracting the wealth from individuals to keep them motherfuckers alive. So if you were to say, nah, ain't gonna be no 3 hots in the cot, as soon as you get found guilty, we have this. We're gonna take you out back. You got 3 choices. Fire 3 of the cheapest choices: firing squad, a noose, because you can reuse a noose. You can reuse a noose. Actually, those are probably the 2 only choices I'd give you, because bullets, you can use 1 bullet. You know what I'm saying? Not even a firing squad. 1 bullet, back of the head, brain stem gone, boom, you're dead. Or you can get hung. That would prevent a lot more crime, I believe. Right? Than would, we're going to house you for 25 years or even 10 years until we put you to death. You understand what I'm saying? But every other law, these laws, they're meant to punish people and to extract something from you if you break these. They're not designed to prevent anything. Jay with Open Eyes says, him bringing up speeding ticket analogy is dumb. Yeah, it's stupid because people don't speed with the same mentality of someone who looks. These people don't. Jay with Open Eyes, how old are you? 21, 22 now? See, I don't know how old the clown shoe Lucas is. If he takes his hat off, he's probably aged 20 or 30 years. But who knows how old he is? But the point is, Jay with Open Eyes understands this, and the clown shoe Lucas doesn't. I hate when people use these analogies and talking points about speeding and getting a car from the DMV and getting permission slip to get a car. Why can't we do that in relation to the guns? Like, it's stupid. It's stupid, and I have an argument for that too. Mercy says, I believe these hootings are random. I believe they are set up to do what they've been doing. I agree. Jay with Open Eyes is 20, has better understanding than the clown shoe Lucas about how the world works and how life works and nuance and why you can't compare a speeding ticket to someone shooting somebody. It's retarded.
World. I'm sorry. We don't live in a perfect world. So some of these laws are not meant for you. They're meant in order so we can get the bad guys. So we have...
Get the bad guys. Laws are not created to get the bad guys. How? Because quite often, good people break these arbitrary laws, and they get them too. Good people get got by these laws. Civil asset forfeiture. is an example. You don't even need to be convicted of a crime or charged with a crime to have your shit taken under the civil asset forfeiture law. And good people can have their shit seized. So let's say a coke dealer who sells coke to people, never killed anybody, never violated anybody's rights, never stole from anybody, never robbed anybody. He just wants to sell coke to people. Is that a bad guy? Or is he someone that's providing a service to someone, that providing a product to somebody that wants it? And let's say it's good coke, pure coke. You know what I'm saying? No overdose. Well, there's always a possibility of overdose, but it's a good, clean product, blah, blah, blah. What if he is good, a good individual? Oh, because he sells coke, he's bad now, right? No, laws aren't designed to get bad guys. It's designed to get guys. Laws are designed to get people, period. They don't give a fuck if you're good or bad. They don't care if you're good or bad. Man-made laws are designed to get you, period.
Pretext to charge and prosecute the bad guys.
Niar. What are you doing? I need you to warn me next time. You understand?
Unless you're an anarchist. And if you're an anarchist,
hold on, guys. I let my daughter do her thing. She's just walking. Niar, what are you doing? Huh? My bad, y'all. These kids. I tell you what, Bobby. I'll tell you what. I mean, Jay Openeye says, you know, he hides something under his hat. He never takes that shit off, LMAO. Yeah, I mean, I wear hats too, but I'm wearing mine because, hold on. You know, I'm wearing mine because I don't need the light shining on top of my dome. Hold on. Oh, fuck. Hold on, man. This is a hot mess. Jesus Christ. Whew. Anyway, so, all right, yeah. Angry Conservative says, is it just me or is the amazing Lucas lost his marble? Yeah. However many marbles he had. You know what, Angry Conservative? No, I'm not supposed to be a YouTube professional. No. You know. I'm still working on that. I'm just now getting my whole setup set up. I'm gonna get a green screen soon. So, but I'm in my garage and my kids just bust in and out of, just be doing shit. James Miller, you said Lucas had you messed up when he said what last night? Oh, I know you are, Angry Conservative. So let's continue, man, because he's gonna talk about some anarchy shit, and I think it's funny. Wait, here we go.
Then we're not fucking talking to you, okay? I don't know why this is so difficult. If you're an anarchist, then we're not fucking talking to you. Oh,
I'm an anarchist. You're not talking to me, but what you're calling for is bullshit. You're calling for tyrants to initiate force to remove our rights, but you're not talking to us. I'm an anarchist, right? Ideally, right? I'm an anarchist to the degree where I don't believe in rulers, right? Doesn't mean I don't believe in order. Doesn't mean I don't believe in some sort of structure or system. It just means I don't believe in rulers, right? Because a ruler is someone who dictates to other people what they should not do. I don't believe in that. But unfortunately, I still live in a world where I live in a country ruled by law and order, right? The so-called law and order. So I can't just be an anarchist 100% because the government wouldn't let me. Even, how these people tell you, why ain't you going out and do this? Listen, even if I bought my own land, lived off the grid, did all that shit, I'm still living under the acts of eminent domain, right? Eminent domain, no matter what, it doesn't matter if you even become an official sovereign citizen with the paperwork, you still are living under the thumb of the government because of eminent domain, right? They feel like they can come take your shit anytime they feel like it. All they have to do is have a reason and pay you for it. And you're not going to get the value that you deserve for it. So, you can say that we're not talking to you anarchists, but I still live and operate within this system, and I'm working toward being able to get everybody on the side of anarchy so that we can get rid of the rulers, right? So that we can do away with rulers by whatever means necessary so that people can live as freely as possible. And I understand that people are going to form smaller villages and communities together, and they're going to come up with their own system, and they're going to voluntarily participate in those systems, the individuals in that community. And that's okay. That's okay, as long as they can opt out. You see, that's the issue. There is no opt-out, right? And if I go as far as to denounce my citizenship, which I will not do, and I don't suggest anybody denounce their citizenship, especially on a public forum, because that can create problems for you. I shouldn't have to, not even citizenship, I shouldn't have to denounce the fact that I live in this country. I am a member of this country. I was born and raised here. And I have as many rights to live in this country as I choose, or whatever. Y'all get what I'm saying. So this whole, if you're an anarchist, this doesn't apply to you. That's not true, though.
okay? I don't know why this is so difficult. If you're an anarchist, we're not fucking talking to you because there's usually anarchists who are constantly talking.
Okay, so if that's the case, all right, I can roll with that. All right, so tell these politicians that people that consider themselves to be anarchists don't have to go by these rules. If you're going to say, "Oh, anarchist, this doesn't apply to you," then let's keep that energy. Keep that same energy, and you say, "Look, anarchist, you guys do not have to go by any of this." right? That would present an option to opt out. But there is no opt out, so you can't say that it doesn't apply to anarchists. It doesn't make any sense. Angry Conservative says the thing about when you have anarchy, it will end in chaos. No, it's not true. Everything ends in chaos, and then guess what comes after chaos? Order. Order out of chaos, chaos out of order. That's how it works. That's not true that it ends in chaos. It does not, right? Because at the end of the day, it's about voluntarily and willingly participating in the system you agree with. You're choosing to live by that system and to live under that those set of rules that community has. But when you have a central government that dictates what an entire country of 300 million people do, that's where you have problems. That's where you get chaos. We have chaos right now. Look at the supply chain. Look at inflation, right? Look at the crime rate. Look at all that. That's chaos. You're getting chaos out of the order that people feel is government. And what's going to come from the ultimate level of chaos that you will ever see in this country? You will have some level of order, but in smaller communities, smaller broken up communities. I would go as far as to say that if we never formed a central government in the first place, if it stayed a confederacy, the country would have been better off. Well, what about slavery? If it wasn't for the Federalists doing this, that, and the third, then you wouldn't have Lincoln going after the slave abolishment shit. That shit would have happened, right? It happened all over the world. Slavery ended all over the world without a central government. No. The fact of the matter is, slaves were revolting to the point where it wasn't no longer profitable to own slaves, right? They were burning down whole fucking plantations. They were destroying crops. They were revolting everywhere, right? So it would have had to end it. Anyway, I'm taking too long. I'm prolonging this shit. I'm talking too much.
Just goofy shit. Oh, well, we shouldn't infringe on anyone. I was like, well, we shouldn't have any laws. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Fine. I'm just
He has no argument against that, right? When you put it like that, when you say no one's right should be infringed upon, there's nothing to say against it. Okay, fine. That's all you have to say. Well, so if it's okay, fine, that no one's right should be infringed, then what is this whole video about?
saying. I don't get what's the issue with people who constantly say this and they think it's an argument. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Like I said, I don't care if you mofos have a bazooka, to be honest with you. I'm very much pro guns. Have as many guns as you want. I don't give a fuck. Most of you guys aren't going to be using these guns. Most people who constantly jerk off guns have never used a gun to protect their life. I'm just letting you know. Most of the people.
Here's another stupid argument. Most of the people that jerk off guns have never used a gun to protect themselves in their life. Okay, so what? Good, right? But it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Because the same person you're saying never had to protect themselves with a firearm may one day, may tomorrow, be put in the position where they have to protect themselves with a firearm. And if you impinge on that in any way, like we hear so many stories of women who go to try to get a gun and they have to go through a waiting period or their permit is stalled out for government bureaucracy, getting killed because they didn't have the tool to protect themselves. So you're saying, in the clown shoe Lucas's mind, that's okay because before that point she had never needed it to save her life. So why should we give a fuck about your rights if your right to keep and bear arms if you haven't used it to defend yourself yet? When up to 2 million people a year use firearms to save their lives. And most of those times, all they have to do is show the weapon. So here we go with another nonsense argument from the clown shoe Lucas, trying to say that someone else had a stupid argument.
People who constantly jerk off guns have never used a gun to protect their life. So I find it just weird to me.
Why is it weird? It's weird to want a firearm to protect yourself in the future if need be because you never had to do it before? What kind of retarded shit is that? This dude is supposed to be smart, right? He's supposed to be smart. He tries to present himself as an intelligent young man. But really right now, he's not even... I call bullshit on that. Very limited level of intelligence.
Motherfuckers love going to the shooting range. That's what these mofos do. They're not in combat, right? They're in the...
Let me let him finish. Let me let him finish his point.
I'm like, bruh, like this is what these... And I don't get it. I'm like, you...
What was it? What was it? Did you hear what he said? These people aren't in combat. They're going to the range. These people are going to the range. You're not in combat. You're going to the range. Somebody in my chat room, please tell me. Please help him. Please write in the comment section and try to help him understand. Anyway, I guess their mama ain't here when their mama's here. Anyway, can somebody explain why someone who's never been in combat before, never had to go through a life or death situation before in their life, would go to the range with a firearm? Whether it be a tactical range, whether it be just a range where you stand there and shoot rounds down range, or zero your weapon. Why would someone go to a range if they've never been in combat before and they never had to use a gun to save their life? Can somebody, why would I run through dry fire drills in the house? Why would I go through the house in the dark and during daylight? Why would I go through my house and do dry fire drills in my house, even though no one's broken into my house before, to kill me? Why would I drill me and my family through a situation, through scenarios in my house, and I've never had someone come to my house to try to kill me before? Why would I do that? He really said these people just go to the range. They've never been in combat before, and they never had to use the gun to save their life. But they're going to the range. You see what I'm talking about? Do you see what I'm talking about? About the limited level of intelligence that this man has. Can please tell me y'all see it? Can somebody tell me? Jay Miller said that's a good thing because your guns are supposed to be more of a deterrent from invaders. It's like with the government owning nukes. Yeah, they have never used them, but they have them to. Oh man, Anarchy Television was good. He said that's okay. To each their own. I am not trying to convince anyone. I'll present information and exactly. I agree with you, Anarchy Television. Jay Miller said, Shape here. I mean, there's no way Lucas wouldn't understand this because he's got too much sense to not know this at all. I mean, help me out here. Yo, Snap, it's like any kind of personal protection equipment for any job. Steel toe boots, respirators, hard hats. You have these just in case something might happen. Same thing with a gun. Hell to the fucking O. Why? This man is 25 to 50, however fuck he old he is. He doesn't understand that you would go to the range with your weapon, even though you've never had to use a weapon to save your life or in combat. So therefore, if you've never been in combat, this is what he's getting at. If you've never been in combat, or if you've never been a veteran, or if you've never been a whatever, then your right to keep and bear arms, you should shut the fuck up about it. That's basically what he's getting at, right? Because going to the range with your weapon, well, that's not a good reason to own it or have it or to be so hard up and be what do you call it, jacking off your weapons? Oh, you shouldn't be jacking off your weapons at the range because you've never been in combat. I didn't catch this part last night. Oh, my God.
Never use this weapon that you care so much about to protect your life or anyone else's. But I swear, bruh, they will be with the quickness. Shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed. Sir.
That's what the Second Amendment says. In the Constitution, the Second Amendment, the second fucking article, the second fucking part of the Bill of Rights, it says, that's what it says. It says, being necessary for a free state, militia, some shit, or well-regulated militia, being necessary for a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And he gets into militia and what it is and fucking what regulated is. And he's still an idiot in regards to that. So, I don't know.
If I wanted to take your life, I could. That gun isn't going to stop me from wanting to take your life. All right? By that same logic.
That's stupid. It could very well. What is he talking about? People save their lives with firearms all the time. The woman in West Virginia, she saved countless lives with a pistol, and dude had an AR and got his shots off first. But according to him, Lucas feels like he can kill you before you can use a firearm to defend yourself against him. He feels like he can kill you. And you know what? He probably could. But he also probably could get killed before he even draws down on you or even kills you at all. He can get his shot off first, strike you, and still get killed before he can actually finish the job. But see, we're talking about somebody who doesn't have an IQ above room temperature. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about the clown shoe Lucas. I want y'all to understand how stupid this man is. And you know what? I don't usually use this type of language towards any other YouTuber or content creator, but because he threatened my children, it's fuck him. So I'm always going to ad hominem attack him. I don't care what nobody say. It is what it is. But I'm also making a great point because it's not an ad hominem attack if what I'm saying about him is relevant to the argument. And the fact that he's stupid is relevant because he's saying he'll kill you if he wanted to. No, that's not how it works. People want to kill people all the time and fail. But though that he's not interested in that type of reality, okay? It's whatever Lucas wants, right? Because he's a narcissist. It's whatever Lucas wants, whatever Lucas thinks, whatever Lucas says. So that's what he thinks.
Logic. By the same logic, they keep on talking about, hey, criminals are going to do criminal things. Okay, if that's the case, sir, then that gun isn't going to protect your life anyway.
Oh, man. Yeah, sure was returned. No, well, he lived in L.A. when I lived in L.A. He lives in L.A. I lived in L.A. We both lived in L.A. at the same time. I thought you knew this story, but, I said something during one of his live streams, and he got mad, and then he eventually ended up threatening my children. He said, I know where you do your live streams. I live in L.A. too, blah, blah, blah. I know where you do your live streams. I'll come up there, and I'll smack your children, and then I'll make your children smack you. So I said, look here, bitch. I told him before he blocked me, I said, all right, you know I'm at the stairs on Sunday, right? I'm at the stairs on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. You know I'm stairs, the Culver City stairs. You can come up there and get this work. How about that? Oh, you think I'm stupid? You think I'm going to meet you up there, blah, 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 and you know blah, blah? Yeah, motherfucker, I think you're stupid. You were stupid enough to threaten my children on a fucking live stream. Yeah, I think you're stupid. Mm-hmm. But I said, no, it can be a friendly, I'll give you some gloves. I'm pretty sure you don't have boxing gloves because you don't train in fighting. I'm pretty sure. I'm damn sure. Bring a mouthpiece, and we can have a sparring match. And from that point, every time I went to the stairs, before I got there, I let everybody know I'll be at these stairs on this day. You think he ever showed up? No. But he blocked me, so it is what it is. But this guy just said, your gun isn't going to stop a criminal because a criminal is going to criminal. That's fucking stupid. What a retard.
By that same logic, right? Because they constantly want to say, well, it's criminals. Look, criminals don't obey laws. Okay, if that's the case, then that gun is going to protect you.
Tell me y'all see how stupid this man is. I'm not pulling no punches no more. He is fucking stupid. He's stupid or intellectually dishonest because he knows his fucking audience is stupid. Or thinks his audience is stupid, right? Matter of fact, I want to look at a couple of comments. Okay, what does it say? Batman who laughs is, where is he? Okay, here's someone with some sense. However, the two most recent ones were obtained legally. What is her point? Robert Paul Champagne says, Lucas, I don't care if you own a Gatling gun. I just care about regulation. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. There are regulations that prevent you from getting a Gatling gun. But you're getting bad guys that making jobs easier. Police don't do shit. Now, these are his channel members. Long Iron says, here we go. Every anarchist I've met has been a neckbeard. Am I a neckbeard, bitch, y'all? These people are stupid. See, his audience is just as stupid as him. I swear. No, I'm nothing against your audience. You guys are just collateral damage. News the teacher who survived the mass shooting in Texas. Okay. I'm going to.
Because just because you have a gun doesn't mean I'm not going to get the advantage on you. I can pop you at any time.
And it doesn't mean that you're always going to get the. What's your point? That's not. See, this is what dumbasses think, right? Let me tell you how dummies think. Dummies think that because you want to have a firearm to protect yourself in the event somebody tries to kill you, they think that you believe that you're automatically going to survive or going to prevent the person from killing you. That is irrelevant. If the person can get the drop on you and kill you anyway, whether you have a firearm or not, that does not mean that you should not have a firearm to protect yourself. Because at the same token, someone might have the intent to kill you, and you have a level of situational awareness to where you're like, okay, this guy, he looking real funny style, so I got my shit ready to go, and you're not going to get the drop on me. You might have that level of situational awareness, and you could end up killing your attacker or stopping your attacker. Again, like I said, up to 2 million people a year use firearms to prevent them from dying or other people from dying or whatever. Up to 2 million lives are saved a year by the use of firearms. That's way more than the number of people who die each year from the use of a firearm. So it stands to reason that preventing deaths using firearms is a lot more likely if you have the firearm than if you don't, right? You have a greater chance of surviving if you have a firearm than if you don't and someone is attacking you. As a matter of fact, of the 40,000+ people who die each year from people who die by the use of firearm, more than 2/3 of those individuals are suicide. So there's even a greater possibility that you will save a life if you have a firearm than if you don't have a firearm. Again, this man is stupid or intellectually dishonest. Either way, it's not a good look.
And if all it takes is someone to get a few seconds on you. If somebody wanted to kill you, they could. That gun isn't gonna stop you. Do you think a nigga's gonna just come up and just pop you? Some do. That's the whole point of a gun, is that you can shoot someone from far away. Why would I, as far as completely ignore the advantage of having a gun? The whole advantage of having a gun is that I don't have to be that close near you to pop you. That's the whole advantage.
But wait a minute. See, okay, how far away? How far away? How far away? And if you're far enough away and you miss, right? Because the further away you are, the greater the chance that you're going to miss, right? Your target is smaller, right? And I'm likely a moving target, unless I'm standing there in line and I'm just standing there like this, not looking at nothing, just standing there. Maybe I'm in my phone. Yeah, okay. From a distance, you might have a great possibility. You might have a great chance of shooting me. But if you're far away, and I'm your target, and you're far away, your chances are less than if you were closer, right? And also, if you're far away and you pull out, I might get a glimpse in my periphery, or someone else might get a glimpse of you pulling a firearm out if you're further away, and make noise, and then now I'm alerted. See, there are a lot of nuances and variables to this. He doesn't understand that. So his logic is, because the criminal who intends to kill you has a chance to kill you and might have a few seconds on you, even if you have a firearm, then you should not be wanting a firearm. Is that what I'm supposed to gather from this stupidity?
So all these mofos who constantly are strapped and shit, it's like, stop it. If somebody wanted to pop you, they're gonna pop you.
That's not true. No, it doesn't work like that. Just because if someone wants to pop you, that's not true. James Miller said, Freedom March says, that's not the only thing the man Lucas has been attacking you and called you a fearmonger, and he's been hanging up on you because he couldn't go get. Exactly. I know how he works. I know. Yeah, it is an irritating voice, Marcy T. Anarchy Television says no, it's statism. Lucas wants the state to have full control. Exactly. He's comfortable he's a comfortable statist. He really is. But he doesn't like the police. Like he thinks the police is a piece of shit. I don't understand it. Exactly, Anarchy Television. Every single time through history, whenever government disarms people, million die. And he's going to say stupid shit like, "Oh, they don't want to no one's talking about disarming you." But here you are trying to make an argument for me not being armed because somebody might still kill me. That's fucking retarded.
Please stop the goofy talk. Please stop the goofy talk. Because that's what these mofos do half of the time. Are on the range. They're just at the shooting range. Okay? They're at the shooting range.
So what do you want these people to do, huh? If people are on the shooting range and they've never been in a dangerous situation, do you want them to go out and look? Do you want them to go out in the streets and what do you want them to do? Oh, you know what? I'm always at the range. I've never been in danger before. I've never had someone try to kill me. You know what? I should go out and try to get killed and then try to use my firearm. That way, I can make Lucas happy. That way, Lucas can think that I deserve a firearm. Yeah, let me go. Matter of fact, I'm going to have my friend call a hitman to come kill me. Then I'll have used my firearm in a dangerous situation, and then I'll deserve it. This guy can't be serious, man. He can't be serious.
Range. And that's if. That's a big if, okay? That's a big if. Now, let's go into the whole well-regulated militia, blah, 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 Second Amendment. Because I'm sick and tired of hearing mofos talking about shall not be infringed. Yeah, we get it, nigga. We get it. However, what you are missing is that it also says a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of the free state. Now, people...
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. And this is why he don't want to smoke with the anarchists. This is why he don't want to smoke with the anarchists. Because this shit right here, this shit right here, this is nothing. This ain't shit. This shit right here. Excuse me.
I want to talk about
this right here. It's not a shield, right? What it is something that the anti-federalists wanted added to the Constitution because they did not have a Bill of Rights. So they wanted a Bill of Rights in the Constitution, and they wanted to ensure that people could form militias in case a tyrannical government or a foreign enemy or whatever came at them, right? So they wanted people to be able to get together and form militias, not militaries, right? Militaries are owned and operated by the government. Militias are owned and operated by the people and regulated by the people and manned by the people and enforced by the people and dispatched by the people and all that good shit. But I'm going to allow him to make himself look stupid.
Lucas. All right. Well-regulated militia.
Another thing, this right here does not grant me the right to keep and bear arms. Okay? I have a natural right to keep and bear arms. I don't look to the Constitution to protect it. I don't look to the Second Amendment to protect it. But I often use it because the people that put it in here understood that it's an inalienable right and shall not be infringed, right? They understood it was a natural right. This is up here. These are two separate clauses, by the way, right? A well-regulated militia being necessary for a free state. These are separate clauses, right? Right? And the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Two separate clauses. This is a dependent clause. right? A well-regulated militia being necessary for a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's the independent clause. Meaning that this means the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed is not dependent upon a well-regulated militia being necessary for a free state. No. In order for a well-regulated militia, in order for a militia to be well-regulated to secure a free state, we need the right of the people to keep and bear arms to not be infringed. Not, well, in order for our rights to keep and bear arms to not be infringed, we need a well-regulated militia. No. This is an independent clause. The right of the people to keep and bear arms to not be infringed, that's the ultimate, right? That is something that cannot be fucked with. And you need the people to keep and bear arms to not be infringed so that you can have a well-regulated militia. My right to keep and bear arms is not dependent upon me being a part of a militia. That's not what it's for. But you can't have a militia without the people being able to keep and bear arms. You understand what I'm saying? So he can go ahead and blow all the smoke up your ass and gaslight you, because that's what he's doing. But he's full of shit. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Able-bodied and whatnot. Okay, great.
All right, here we go. Now, read a couple of your comments. Okay. Angry conservative says he tried to grift the conservative, but people started to call him out, and it wasn't all that great for him. Yeah, this is an anti-Republican rant. I just want y'all to know. He doesn't know who the militia is according to the Second Amendment, that's what I say. Either he's stupid or he's intellectually dishonest. Exactly, Anarchy Television. But he's stupid. That's why I believe no government intervention or regulation on guns or anything like that, no country would even dare fuck with us. And guess what? Even though they're trying to regulate our shit, even though they have 20,000 gun control laws on the books, these other countries still won't fuck with us because we still have the shit. I mean, we can't have it to the extent we want to have it, but they know if they came up in this motherfucker, they can get fired on from every motherfucking angle. And what's the point of invading if you're going to carpet bomb the entire country, right? Nuke the entire country. No, United States has mad resources. There are mad resources in the United States, man. That's why we can be energy independent. We have mad resources. Not like Africa, but guess what? We would damn sure be like Africa with all these countries all up and through our shit, taking and stealing and all that type of shit. If it wasn't for the right to keep and bear arms, I'm gonna tell you that.
If that's what you're talking about, well-regulated means able-bodied men, does that preclude women?
What are you talking about? Does it say anything? Let me ask y'all something. Do you see anything about man or woman in here? What I see is people. People consist of what? Men, women, children. People, human beings. Doesn't say nothing about man, doesn't say nothing about women. And I don't know where he's getting this talking point about well able-bodied or what the fuck he talking about. Because that's not the extent of what well-regulated means. But let's see.
Does that preclude women? Is that what you're arguing? And
No, able-bodied men. What is he talking about? He's a fucking idiot.
Body, then that means fucking handicapped people definitely shouldn't have guns. Because they're not able-bodied.
Again. Now, if you want to say handicapped people shouldn't be part of the militia because they're handicapped, obviously they're not going to be too useful, right, in the militia if we had to go to work. But being handicapped doesn't preclude you from having the right to keep and bear arms. Again, he's trying to make the rights of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, the dependent clause, to the first clause. No. If you're handicapped, you might not be part of the militia. You might play a support role. You know what I'm saying? You might be part of logistics or communications or something. You can still be part of the militia, right? But you're probably not going to be on the front lines in the battle, right? So being handicapped might preclude you from being in the battle with the militia but it's not going to preclude you from having the right to keep and bear arms. What a fucking idiot.
So what are we going with? I'm just curious. What are we going with? Now, there are people who want to play games and say, well, Lucas, that just means disciplined and well-trained. Okay, bet.
Not just disciplined, well-trained, well-disciplined, well-trained, well-equipped, well-manned, man or woman, because he wants to be fucking pedantic. Yeah, that's what that means. Mm-hmm. But look at what he gets into.
Because this is what they want to quote the Supreme Court, right? Supreme Court of the United States, their decision.
First of all, the Supreme Court, none of this is necessary from the Supreme Court, right? It's clear. The Second Amendment is clear. It says the right of the people shall keep their arms shall not be infringed. So the Supreme Court should do what? Every time they get some shit. Look, man, the Second Amendment is clear. You cannot create these laws. You cannot ban this. You cannot ban that. You cannot regulate this. You cannot. No background checks shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed, and you shall not infringe. So there are to be no gun laws on the books. That's the extent to which the Supreme Court needs to be involved in regards to the Second Amendment.
Saw what the Supreme Court did with abortion, bruh. We already saw what the Supreme Court did with abortion. I don't really care, like what the Supreme Court says. Here we go. I suggest that in exercising its power to organize, discipline, and arm militia, Congress must focus upon the entire body. Although militias consist of all able-bodied men, the federally organized militia may consist of a subset of them. Okay, all able-bodied men. What definition?
A federally organized militia. There's no such thing as a federally organized militia. What you have now is a military. Right? You see, this is why you don't these interpretations of the Bill of Rights are superfluous, unnecessary, and damaging. You understand what I'm saying? Because the bill, even though the Constitution is a living document, right, is deliberately ambiguous so that it can form and flow and with the times, and that's how it's been so consistently strong throughout the years, is because it's a living document, right? It's deliberately ambiguous. But what is not ambiguous is the first 10 amendments, right? They're very clear, right? It's not for you to interpret what regulated meant. Because the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed is not dependent upon those individuals being part of a militia. No. The right, the people forming a militia, in order to form a militia, it depends on your right to keep and bear arms not being infringed. That's the thing, right? It's not the other way around. See, they try to present it like it's the other way around. No. That's why the Supreme Court decision, one of the right decisions was that, yeah, the Second Amendment applies to the people. That's what it's for. That's already said and done. There is no such thing as a federally organized militia. Because what they're talking about is a federal government. No, the militia is not to be formed by the government. It's formed by the people. But, you know, he'll use it how he wants to use it.
What are we going with? Is this men, or is this men as in speaking of men and women encompassing? Now, finally, the adjective well-regulated implies nothing more than an imposition of proper discipline and training. Great. Okay.
This is an interpretation, right? Finally, the adjective well-regulated means nothing more than an imposition of proper discipline and training. Not government, not subjected to government rule and government, no. Not to, it says discipline and proper discipline and training. You want your militia to be disciplined, right? This doesn't mean that the federal government imposes proper discipline and training. That's not what it means. If you want your militia to be strong, yeah, you're going to have these things going on in your militia. What's the point?
Okay, if that's what we're arguing, is proper discipline and training, guess what? That's going to have to be regulated.
By who? See, regulated by who? You see how he's just throwing shit in there? Because that's what he wants it to be? It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that because you say it works like that. You understand what I'm saying? No, it's gonna have to be regulated. No, you fucking clown. It's going to be maintained. It's going to be. It's going to have the members going to be properly disciplined, and there's going to be proper training for the members. The militia is of the people, by the people, formed by the people. That's what it is. Not to be. It's not a government entity. That's what he feels it is, because he's stupid.
That's going to have to be regulated. This is the same thing that I've said. It's like, yo, all right, fine, bet. We're going to make sure that everyone who wants a gun is well disciplined and trained. If you're not
Who's we? Who's going to determine this? It's not up to you, clown, unless you're part of that militia, unless you are a leader or a commander or some type of leadership role in that militia. It's not up to you. If you want to form a militia and you want to make sure your militia has that going on, then more power to you. But it's not up to the government. The government doesn't determine, they don't do. It have nothing to do with that. The militia is not a government militia. You fucking idiot. That's what he doesn't understand because he's a dumbass.
trained, you don't get a gun. No.
Again, who determines that? And people, listen, let me help you understand. People who own firearms, right, and they're well-intentioned people, they're training with their fucking firearms, bro. They're going to the range, they're zeroing their weapons, they're firing their weapons, because that's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. It's not up to the government or the fucking clown shoe Lucas to say, oh, well, you were trained enough now. Here you can have a gun. No, fuck you, clown shoe. Fuck you. You don't get to tell me when I'm well trained and trained enough. It's not up to you. How about that? It's not up to you. Now, in certain states, you have to go to some level of training to get a concealed carry permit. Okay, I did it. It is what it is. You know why? Because I wanted to be able to carry and not have my balls busted. You understand what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that it was right for them to have to, for me to have to go through what they considered was enough training to conceal carry or open carry. It just means that that's the world we're living in now. And it can change. It has changed. That's why 25 states you have constitutional carry where you don't need a fucking permit. We can get more rights.
No matter how you interpret well-regulated, it lends itself to regulation.
What an idiot. It lends itself to regulation. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. No, it does. It lends itself to regulation from whom? That's the key question, right? That's what we want to know. Regulation, who's doing the regulating? You? The government? No. That would be counterintuitive, right? That would be counterproductive. Why would you allow the government, who you don't want to have too much power to the point where they become tyrannical and oppressive, why would you want them to regulate your militia, man? Why would you leave it up to them to regulate your militia? No, it's not how it works. I think I'm done, man. I think I proved how stupid he was. Let's see. Let's listen to a little more. I got to get ready to get out of here.
It lends itself to regulation. I don't care if you want to go with the able-bodied, well-disciplined, well-trained. It lends itself, right? It lends itself to regulation. Furthermore, there's already regulations on guns. There's already regulation.
So, militias aren't guns. Does he understand that militias aren't guns? Okay, I'm hoping he understands that. There should not be regulations on guns. Saying that there are already regulations on guns doesn't prove that a well-regulated militia lends itself to being regulated. What? The level of stupidity.
Okay, so all the people want to talk about shall not be infringed. Bitch, it's been infringed if that's what you believe. It's already been.
Yeah, it's been infringed, and that's the fucking problem. You see how he just admitted it. He just acknowledged that our rights are being infringed. They've been infringed. He acknowledged that. So anything he says right now, he understands that we have been violated. And so therefore, we're already regulated. We're already infringed upon. So just let them do it more. Fuck it. Let them infringe away, oppress away, tyrannize away. Right? That's his logic. Right? And then he goes into the pandemic. I want to go over that real quick. Because this is hilarious, right?
Been infringed. Please stop it. Okay? I don't want to hear this nonsense of shall not be infringed. Please stop it. Please.
And that's why people are working to make changes, man. That's why people are working to make changes to get to the point where they're not infringed upon anymore. He doesn't understand that. You see, there are waves to revolutions, right? In stages, right? There are stages and waves to revolutions. And it doesn't just go immediately into gunfire and battling back and forth. That's not how it works, right? Even civil wars, revolutions, anything like that, it doesn't start by motherfuckers marching and killing people. That's not how it works. You try to win hearts and minds, right? It starts with propaganda, information. The first stage of any war is an information war. Information, right? Information, winning hearts and minds, getting as many people on your side as possible, and trying to peaceably create change and vast changes without bloodshed. That's how you try to go through it. You don't just, you know what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, it might be a good idea if a government is being tyrannical, like say during the pandemic, you want people to see how the government behaves when you give them too much power, right? So that it makes it more difficult for these people to obtain more power. And then next thing you know, the people are getting fed up and the government loses less and less power. You want people to see the level of tyranny your government is dishing out. He doesn't understand these things because why? Because he lives in his LA bubble. He's never done anything significant with his life. He's never been anywhere. You know, not to learn anything or gain any knowledge. He might have gone on trips and come back to LA and still stuck in that stupid LA mind frame. He lives in this LA bubble and thinks that everybody else has that LA bubble mentality. They fucking don't. Fucking
stop
idiot.
It. Also stop with the whole gun grabbing nonsense. Most people don't care if you have a gun.
That's not true.
Most
true.
people don't care. Genuinely curious. What if the government...
Most of which people? You see, it doesn't have to be most people. All it has to be are the elites and the government controllers. Those are the ones that you don't want. Those are the individuals who don't want you to have the firearm. Okay? Not Timothy down the street.
Precedent is tyrannical. Oh, I'm glad you asked. Oh, I'm so glad you asked. What the fuck did y'all do during COVID? Oh, I'm so glad this was brought up because I knew one of you goofies would ask that. What did y'all do during...
And look, he really think he's doing something here. Watch. Hold on, y'all. Exactly, angry server. We have more rights than people. I mean, more guns than people. If people were to understand and realize the truth, they were under the state martial law and been occupied by a foreign corporation, called the United States 28 U.S. Code 300215. I got to look into that. Gentleman said, oh, yeah, I was about to bring that up, Snap. Remember when Lucas told you we were already going through tyranny with the lockdowns? He said, oh, we should just live with it, hell. You said about the policing. He's an idiot. Because he's comfortable. That's all.
COVID.
What about it?
Don't worry, I'll wait. Y'all were the same people talking about this is tyrannical, right?
Okay. See, this is how you know he's living in his LA bubble, because in LA and California, no one fought this shit. They just laid down and allowed it to happen. But there are plenty of places across the country where people resisted. They were getting arrested. They fought, right? They kept their businesses open, got fined hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have to go out and kill people. They didn't have to pick up a gun and go shoot up any buildings or anything like that. That's stupid, right? No, it's not that time. It's not time for that type of shit, right? They just resisted. Sometimes civil disobedience is all you need, right? There were not every state locked down. Not every state did that shit. So this is how you know he's coming from that LA mentality, that LA bubble he's stuck in.
What did y'all do during COVID? Can someone explain what they did during COVID? Did they use their guns during COVID?
Why do you have to? This is what I understand. If we'd have used our guns during COVID, would you be okay with us having our firearms without our rights being infringed upon? If people went out and killed a bunch of police officers, killed politicians, whatever, if they picked up their arms and started going around, no, fuck that, I'm not wearing a mask, and started killing people and started killing enforcers, would you be okay with people having their? Would they be allowed to have their guns in? Could we stop talking about infringing on our rights? Could we talk about that if people did? That's my question.
Huh? Did they use their guns during COVID? It was tyranny, Lucas. It was tyranny. Did you all use your guns during COVID? Please shut the fuck up. Your card is already...
But I'll tell you what some people did. Some people actually went to the state capitals with their firearms and said, nah, motherfucker, you ain't locking shit down. Yeah. People did shit. They went out with their firearms. And as a matter of fact, in Virginia, during Modelo, they had motherfuckers went up there with their firearms. Thousands, tens of thousands of people deep. Did they have to fire on anybody? No. But they did stop some tyrannical shit from happening. They did that. But because he's stupid, he's not going to know about any of that, right? He thinks everybody across the country did what people did in L.A. No. People resisted all across the country. And you're not, just because you don't know about it, or just because you didn't care to research it or look into it, doesn't mean it didn't happen. And why would we have to? Is there a certain point at which we're like, okay, we won't have a choice but to resist in that manner? Or do we, every time the government does something that we don't like, are we supposed to go kill government officials? Is that what we're supposed to do? Help me understand it. Is that the only way we can have our firearms, is if we go kill government officials every time they do something we don't like? Help me understand that. I got to get out of here, though. It's been fun. There's a lot more I wanted to get into, but I started too late. And then I got to get rolling with the fam. We got to go to the park and have some fun. So I got to get out of here. Much love, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for coming out, checking me out. Janie Miller says, hell, the Dallas salon owner fought against the lockdowns, and they didn't do jack. Exactly. But because she didn't use her gun, well, you can't say shit. You don't have you can't say anything about wanting to keep your rights because you didn't kill government officials during Modelo 19 lockdowns. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and let me help him understand something. typically, when the people get to the point where they have no choice but to resist with the use of their firearms is when the government jackbooted thugs actually come to forcibly take them. That's usually when you start getting into that shit. That didn't happen during Modelo 19, but that's why they're trying to use the red flag laws, because they want to be able to do it one person at a time. That way, it's not a bunch of jackbooted thugs coming to a bunch of doors at once. It's just maybe one or two on the block every other week or some shit like that. Then it's like a lot more, okay, one person gets their rights taken away, another person gets their rights taken away at a certain distance and time apart. And it's not so obvious, right? But usually when you get to the point of bloodshed, it's when that dictator or that tyrant actually sends the jackbooted thugs out to actually forcibly take your shit. So I'll leave it at that. Much love, like, share, subscribe. This guy's a fucking idiot and doesn't know what he's talking about. You don't listen to him. That's my advice in regards to anything to do with anything. Real shit. Because he's a narcissistic idiot, and that's just what it is. So anyway, thank you guys for coming through. Much love, and let's keep marching forward toward freedom.